Hello, beautiful people. Good evening. I'm Amy. I decided to come live this evening because I wish to talk about something very important. I, if you're new here, you're welcome. Please follow me on this page because I I inspire and motivate and I share my experience as a mother living in Germany, and I actually promised last week because I made a video on how to get an apartment in Germany, and I did mention that I was going to make a video this week for those underarmed. But because my schedule seems to be a little bit tight, I just thought it wise that since I'm free this evening, I can just come live so we can just, we can just chat, and that will be all about the topic. So, house search tips for those on the job center. First of all, getting an apartment in Germany can feel almost impossible, right? I mentioned it on my video already. It can really be difficult. But if you get such tips, such information before you even begin your search, it's going to make things a little bit easier for you. So if you're a foreigner underarmed and you look forward to changing your apartment, then this video is for you. This live is for you. And first of all, what you're supposed to know is I'm not going to promise you that it's an easy process. Please, if you're new here, please like the live. It's not going to be an easy process. So you have to really be patient in the procedure, and you also pray that you have, a good landlord. A good landlord that will be patient to wait that you do all the paperwork, because a lot of paperwork is involved in the entire procedure. First of all, if you're underarmed, you're supposed to understand that you're not just supposed to wake up one morning. Hi, if you're new here, please comment. Let me get to know you. I'm Emiliette, and on my channel, I motivate, I inspire, and I entertain. And I share my experience too as a mother living in Germany. And because I'm a single mother myself, I am passionate to help people with information, because I've also once been in a time in my life where I also needed information. So why not? I thought it wise to, like get a space online where I can, share information. Hello, good evening. If you're new here, you're welcome. So, and I think that why I do my stuff here on YouTube, it is also good that I also try to help one or two persons. I have already made mention of it on my bio that anyone can reach out to me through my email address in case you need information pertaining to maybe language, or you're starting a new house building as a mom, how to go about it, this and that and that. That will be super important. And it's good that you always get the right information from the beginning so you make good choices. So like I was talking about, before you even begin a house search, like if you're someone underarmed as a foreigner, first of all, you're supposed to know that you have to have a reason for changing your apartment. You're not just supposed to wake up one morning and you go start telling them that you intend to change your accommodation. They are going to reject it. So you first of all need to have a reason for change, and some of the reason for change can be maybe you have a new job in a new city. Thank you for liking the live. Maybe you have a new job. Maybe your landlord, like your present landlord, wants to carry out maybe a new project, or they wish to construct something new where you live, or if there's any notice that you have to pack out, then it is a reason for umtuk. And of course, Amt is going to allow that. And other reasons, like maybe you are a family person and as a result of maybe having one or two children again is causing a movement, then of course it is right. But if you have a reason, like maybe like for studies, for work, for whatsoever very, very important reasons that I've mentioned already, then you are allowed to move. You are allowed to move. The only thing you're supposed to do is, first of all, you have to write them an email or just a written letter. You drop it to them at their at the post office. You drop it there and you explain yourself that this is your situation and you intend to change your accommodation and so on and so forth. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm sure you're good too. Thank you very much for passing by and for stopping here. So you just have to like let the AMT know why you're changing and from what period are you looking forward to, like changing your accommodation. Then while you're doing this, you have to do a lot of things simultaneously. Like you are supposed to, at that same time, you have to start looking for the new accommodation and make sure that you always look at the rent limit, because the rent limit is super important. You don't want to look for an accommodation that is so big and at the end of the day they reject it. Mind you, you have to if you are fortunate to get an accommodation as fast as possible, immediately you get an accommodation, you do the Besichtigung, which is the house visitation. You tell your landlord to give you a Mietangebot. They call it in German Mietangebot. With the Mietangebot, you carry it to the Amt, you submit it. You submit it that this is your Mietangebot, like this is the house you intend to move to. So they will check more often than not for somebody, like if you're someone with two children, you look forward to having maybe an accommodation of about more than 60 quadrat meter or so. And if you're a single person, maybe between 30 to 40 quadrat meter, 50 quadrat meter is allowed from what I know. If you're someone that you're moving with maybe a single child, you look forward to like 40 to 60 quadrat meter. So how big the apartment is or how big the house is, it matters a lot, and you want to take note of all of this. And how much is the card meter, like how much is the van meter? Thank you very much. I'm grateful. Thank you so much for stopping by. So you want to always check how big the apartment is, how much is the van meter, how much is the card meter. If it falls within the range that they want, of course your job center will accept it. Mind you, there are two job centers involved in this procedure of umzug for a foreigner under job center. First of all, where you live presently, you have to inform them that you have an umzug. You intend to change your accommodation as a result of maybe you have a new job. There's a notice from your landlord, your present landlord, that they might have to do maybe some construction work also. You submit it with your present job center that from this month to this month you will be changing your accommodation, and now you go ahead simultaneously to look for the new apartment. And if you're fortunate enough, you get your landlord will give you a Mietangebot, like I mentioned already. Your landlord will give you a Mietangebot. With the Mietangebot, you are looking at how big the house is, how much is the card meter, how much is the van meter, how much is the caution. If you still look forward to maybe getting help with the caution, you want to check all of these things, and then you carry the Mietangebot to the future job center of the city that you intend to move to. So there are two job centers involved. It is very important to note this. There are two job centers involved. Your job center of now, you have to inform them of the movement, and your future job center will have to receive your meet and board of from your landlord. So now, when you submit it, if you're fortunate, more often than not, it can take 3 weeks or more. Like, it can take 3 weeks or more that they will reply your message. If you're fortunate enough, more often than not, they might end up rejecting that maybe the apartment is too small or the apartment is too big or something like that. So you always want to always, like I mentioned already, check the grant, how many people are supposed to move and how big is the house and so on and so forth. So if you're fortunate and they say they are accepting that you can move to the apartment, they will give you a so-called how do they call this document? They will give you a so-called Angemessenheitsunterlage. I'll just put it like that. Angemessenheitsunterlage. With the Angemessenheitsunterlage, you're taking it now to where? To your present amt, your present job center, and your future landlord, saying that they have accepted that I should get the apartment and I will have to move. So it is super important to put all of this at the back of your mind, and the process will be easy. But if you don't do it that way, like if you don't follow these procedures, you risk getting the apartment, like the new apartment, and the job center will just reject it. Because first of all, you didn't inform your present amt, and where you're supposed to move is strange to them. So it's very important that you always have to communicate with them. And mind you, for us foreigners, your resident permit matters a lot. What type of resident permit are you having? Does it allow you to get help at all? If yes, then you want to always check that you are doing things like you're doing things based on their rich linear. Because if you don't do things based on their rich linear, you risk losing maybe the help or the support at all, and then things will not be good. So I was supposed to make a video on this particular topic, but I looked at my plate for the week. It's going to be a very, very full one. It's going to be a very, very busy week, and so on and so forth. So I just thought it wise to come live, so that I can talk about it. At least it should be here for somebody that might need it in the future. And yeah, so generally, when you follow these procedures, right, you get your apartment. It is still the same procedure at the end of the day. If you get your Angemessenheitsunterlage and give to your future landlord might want, like I mentioned already on the other video I made talking about how to get an accommodation in Germany, they will ask you to submit other documents like maybe your Mietschuldenfreiheitbescheinigung. You have to submit your Schufa. Of course, they have to get information about your credit score. Any landlord, though you're under amt, is not still a Sicherheit that you're going to pay the rent, or is for situations that you have to pay it by yourself. So they just want to get this Sicherheit. So you have to submit a Mietschuldenfreiheitbescheinigung, a Selbstauskunft document, and of course the Schufa document, your ID or maybe a resident permit, of course. And you also have to submit something like your bank information. You have to submit your bank Verbindung. And then how many people are supposed to move in. You're supposed to mention all of those very, very important topics there. So that was one of the reasons why I came live today, to talk about this particular information, because I realized that, yeah, life abroad is all about information. And I'm somebody that before I get myself involved into anything, I always try to check online, like what are others saying about this particular topic, and then I will move on to do whatsoever thing that I have to do. So thank you guys for stopping by, for being with me this evening. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe. I'm Emilie. Here I motivate, I inspire, and I entertain. And I also share my experience as a foreigner living in Germany because yeah, I love to share informations that I know. I love to share things that I know. I don't just want to get keep. I don't just want to get keep. And of course, I just I just feel happy doing that. So if you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe on my YouTube channel and always comment, like, so that we can I'll get to know you all. So thank you guys for stopping by. Have an amazing evening. I have something to take care of now. Just came live to, to talk about this particular thing, and I think I'll be leaving now. Have an amazing evening, y'all. Bye bye. Bye bye.